Alright, so we have a battle report here. It is Spacewolves versus Sisters again, similar to previous army lists. Spacewolves have 3 sets of rhinos here with 8 Grey Hunters in each one with a Melta. They got their 2 Rune Priests standing behind it, 2 groups of Longfangs, and it is big guns never tire, so we have objectives. There's an objective here, there's an objective here, there's an objective here on the Frog. There's an objective here, and there's an objective here. And on the Sisters side, half of the army is in reserve, but there are 3 Penitence engines, 2 Exorcists, 2 groups of Battle Sisters with Meltas and Multi-Meltas, and Saint Celestine. And that is round 1. It is not night fighting, and the Spacewolves have round 1. We're going to see if the Sisters can steal the initiative. No. Alright, Spacewolves, they identified both objectives are grav wave generators. They did their move in round 1, and all these guys kind of fell back. The Longfangs are considering who's going to shoot at some Pent engines. Longfangs, at the end of Spacewolf turn 1, we had 1 Snapfire and 1 normal shot straight into these Pent engines, and they rolled a 1 on their penetrate, so nothing happened. Sisters movement phase 1, the Penitent engines come sliding up behind this giant alien frog, getting some cover so that the Longfangs can't see them. These 2 Exorcists both move up. This one is within 48 inches of that rhino, but it's going to have to snap fire. We identified this objective as another grav wave generator, and we're on to the shooting phase. At the beginning of shooting, this Exorcist pops smoke. Penitent engines move up on their run. This objective is a scatter field, so it's giving them a 1-up on their cover. Exorcist shoots 3 shots, snap fired at that rhino. Nothing. Alright, so turn 2 for the Spacewolves. This is kind of an unexciting game so far. These 2 rhinos come sliding this way towards the objectives. This one pops smoke. Those Longfangs kind of consolidate some into the ruins. And the HQs are running back behind the rhinos. Alright, start of Sisters round 2. We have a total of 4 faith points, and I rolled for reserve. Saint Celestine is the only reserve coming in. We're going to see how that goes. Alright, Saint Celestine deep strikes here, and on to the rest of the movement. Alright, end of Sisters movement phase. Saint Celestine is here. These Penitent engines are holding an objective, so they do not move. These 2 Exorcists move up 6 inches, and we're on to Sisters shooting phase. Sorry. Exorcist shot these Longfangs. We put 7 Exorcist missiles into them, and they failed 1 save, so a single Longfang died. Saint Celestine flames these Longfangs, and she kills 1, and that is the end of Sisters movement, or that's the entire end of the Sisters turn 2. So, end of Spacewolves movement phase 3. This set of rhinos moved over here. There's an objective here. These Longfangs slid over towards Saint Celestine. One of them didn't move, but the rest did. These guys didn't move at all, and that HQ, the Warlord, got inside the rhino. And we're about to see a commencement of shooting. Alright, end of shooting phase. Saint Celestine has been shot like crazy. All of the Longfangs shot her. She got hit with living lightning off the Rune Priest. This rhino here shot her in the back with a Stormbolter, and the only thing that actually did a wound was the rhino in the back with the Stormbolter, so she's taken 1 wound. Alright, Sisters turn 3. How many faith points? There's a total of 6. Not possible to use them. Sisters coming in? No. Immolator group? No. So, no Sisters come in. Movement phase for turn 3. Saint Celestine has moved up. Thanks to pre-measuring now, I made sure she could hit all those guys with the flamers. These Penitence engines, they do absolutely nothing. These Exorcists kind of, this one slides back a bit, this one moves a little bit over here so that we have line of sight to the rhinos. Alright, Saint Celestine kills the sergeant with the flamer, and the other guys save. Alright, so this rhino blows up because the Exorcist hits it. They take 6 wounds and save all of them. So there's a bunch of wolves here in a crater. Alright, at the end of Sister's shooting phase, this exorcist has blown up the rhino and didn't wound anyone inside it. This exorcist shoots this rhino, does absolutely nothing. Saint Celestine has killed a lone wolf sergeant. That grav wave generator prevents Saint Celestine from making the charge, so she's just standing there. And it is the end of turn 3. Alright, at the end of Spacewolves shooting phase 4, Saint Celestine got shot by Longfangs. Longfangs, Living Lightning, Stormbolter, Bolters, and Stormbolter, and took 2 wounds, which was a pretty good amount of saving. So she is dead. Alright, so start of Sisters turn 4. Faith points, we have 2. Does Saint Celestine come back? She does. How many wounds does she have? All of them. So she's actually better off now than she was before. Alright, Sisters movement phase. These girls come foot slogging it onto the edge of the board. These girls have come on an immolator. I also did the 6-inch run move, so it's the first part of the shooting phase. The immolator just kind of drives up. These 2 exorcists move forward. These penitence engines do nothing. Saint Celestine, since she's alive again, came flying over towards these wolves, and is the end of Sisters' movement phase. Active faith on these girls. It's a 2, nothing. Phase, Saint Celestine wounds 5, they make all their saves. This exorcist shoots the Longfangs, 6 hits, all 1s and 1s and 1s, nothing happens. Both exorcists have shot the Longfangs repeatedly. That was 10 exorcist missiles to hit them, and all 1s and stuff. There was only 2 saves, and they made it. Saint Celestine has charged this group here, and as always happens, the Melta's the one that hits on Overwatch, and it does wound. So we're gonna see if she lived. She got hit with the Melta and miraculously saved, and then saved the other 2 wounds. So it was a lot of Overwatching, but she actually lived. All right, so this combat goes Saint Celestine. Saint Celestine came in, killed a couple. The Space Wolves are running. We're going to see if they shall know no fear and they stand and fight, or if they actually break away. All right, so these guys are just all consolidated around Saint Celestine, and it's just a dragged out fight, which is good for Saint Celestine because she didn't want to get shot. All right, so this is turn 5, Space Wolves. This rhino pulls around here at the end of, actually it's in its shooting phase, but the rhino disembarks guys and then pulls around on the beginning of shooting phase. These guys are still locked in combat. These guys have gotten out and are moving towards the Saint. The HQ is still in the rhino. That's it. All right, shooting phase. These wolves have shot these girls, killing 3 of them, including the multi-melta. Summary of shooting phase. These girls have been decimated. They got hit with pretty much everything. The only thing they managed to succeed with was 2 invul saves against Longfang missiles and deny the witch on Living Lightning. All right, end of Space Wolves assault phase. Saint Celestine kills a wolf. They break and run. They shall know no fear, so they instantly consolidate there. And we're on to Sisters round, or phase 5. With Sisters have 5 faith points. Sisters movement phase, these girls have moved up. That immolator is running across the field. The penitence engine, it'll fall down if we move it, but it moved up here. Exorcist slides back, this exorcist slides forward, and Saint Celestine flew over here towards these Longfangs. Alright, we're on to the Sisters shooting phase. These girls get an active faith off. Alright, at the end of Sisters shooting phase, that immolator moved 6 inches, basically. This exorcist kills a single Space Wolf. This group of girls shoots this, does nothing. Saint kills 1 Longfang. This exorcist kills 2 Longfangs on the roof, but they make their morale check. All right, so the end of Sisters assault phase. These girls attempt to assault the Rhino, roll a double 1. St. Celestine murders a bunch of long fangs, but they still got one guy in the fight, and no one else does anything. So it is now the end of turn 5. We're going to see if the game ends. It does not. All right, we're now into turn 6. We rolled for night fighting. We should have rolled last round, but we didn't, and we rolled a 1, so it is not in effect. All right, end of Spacewolves shooting for turn 6. Murders these girls here. Shoots the Penitence engine, which is actually standing up here, but the Pent engine made it 6-up save. All right, so end of Spacewolves assault. All these guys crowd around St. Celestine. She ends up in a challenge with the Runic Priest, and she inflicts 1 wound. He inflicts 1 wound, but it's a force weapon, so she's instantly killed. And it is now the top of Sisters' turn 6. Top of turn 6, Sisters have a total of 5 faith points. All right, does St. Celestine get back up? No. Sorry, end of Sisters shooting phase. This Exorcist kills 3 Space Wolves, Grey Hunters. This Exorcist kills 1 Long Fang. Those guys moved over to the table corner. And it is the end of round 6. We're going to see if the game continues. It does not. All right, so final score on this game is 8-10. Sisters have 2 objectives. Space Wolves have 3. Sisters got Linebreaker and First Blood, and Space Wolves got Kill the Warlord. So that's the end of the game.